This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our call to talk about top ways to get listings. Okay. Now, normally I like to start by talking about resources, right? Because there's a lot to listings to leads, and I think a lot of our clients are excited when they do one thing. They use kind of one tool, they get great results, they can't believe it. And then they just sort of stick to that tool, right? And they don't sort of go beyond that. The point of this call is to talk about the top tools to get you listings right now in 2021. And listings inventory is still tight across the country. Wherever you are, if you're in the US, listing inventory is tight. But let's talk about resources. Okay, let's talk about what can I do to learn more about listings to leads. And one thing you can do, you can certainly scroll down here and look at all the cool things we have on our site. All these tools are inside, but I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and get to the blog. And we've gotten really good this year about putting new information of what's happening, also new information of what we're doing, like new product release and feature releases, stuff like that. So this is a great place to go. And if you want, you'll notice that there's two big themes, right? Two major themes: how to get more listings, and also Facebook ads. Facebook ads with lead ads, meaning ads coming with phone numbers, and we've simplified it in 20 seconds. I'm going to show you definitely the Facebook piece, but we are going to be talking right now about how to get listings. So this is the blog. It's at the bottom of our site. You can then log into your account. I'm going to log into mine now. I also, before we get into all that, I want to show you this in case you don't know. We do have a mastermind group. It's a private group on Facebook. If you're not in it, use the support page in your account. Okay, right down here at the bottom left is a support page. Just click there. Just put your name. Just put your right here. Just say, get me in the mastermind group, right? And then our support team. This is the fastest way to get answers about listings to leads is in this box. You would think a phone call is fast, and sometimes a phone call is a fast way to get into voicemail. If you want, our whole support team watches this. So I would definitely, if you have any question, get in there. But once you get in here, you're going to see there's a lot of announcements from me and from Scott about what's coming down the pipe. But one interesting thing that I was just looking at today is one of our clients, Kelly, did a video on what he is doing to get FSBOs, to list with him, right? So that's a pretty interesting call. You might want to look at that. It's probably a 10 or 15 minute video. If you're interested in FSBOs, he's got some really good advice there. Janice is saying buyer leads have been great, but seller leads are not so great using the seller P. Any suggestions on how to improve on this? Rich reports. Yeah, so we'll get into that, Janice. We're going to talk about, when I start talking about PDF reports, you can go there. I want to kind of start inside listings to leads on the most important tools that sort of work. And so what Janice is saying is there are a number, she's noticing, she's talking about one of the tools that are designed to get seller leads. They're just not like super hot, is what she's saying. You got 10 leads. Janice, you got 10 leads from what kind of Facebook ad? So Janice is, was that from the seller? Okay, those are from the seller leads. What were you advertising, Janice? PDFs and just sold. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was going to say. Like just sold is a big deal too. But let's look at it, right? And then Janice, we've got two Janices. So Janice Rivera, how many ads have you run in the past 30 days? Just a number, like not what did you run, but how many? And so let's get into, while I get that answer, lots. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the number one tool for getting listings, okay? And this kind of throws people off because a lot of people think to get listings is like, what's the number one tool? What's the bet, like Janice's question there, what's the best PDF report to use to get seller leads? There are 25 seller PDF reports. The issue is, are you being consistent? And then are you working on converting, right? And because people, I'm going to show you how all these things work, but people who are responding to these ads are interested. They're just maybe not interested right now, and you've got to work on them. But let's get into it. And so one of the points is, if you market your listings, then you're gonna have tools to help you get more listings. So let's look at the number one listing right here. This little green icon here means I have an open house, okay? So I'm gonna click on market listing, and that's gonna take me to our marketing checklist here, right? So the number one tool, now I wanna point out, we're dropped here on Facebook. I could create an ad on this. This would get me buyer leads. It's an open house, right? And so that would get you buyer leads, right? But also there's a nearby homeowner letter, and we've created a new version over here, but I'm just going to show you the old one. There are 3 versions here. Let's just download it here. And so I want to kind of point out, you've got a home for sale. This tool, marketing a home is for sale, is actually one of the strongest ways of getting more listings. Stronger than any Facebook ad, okay? Just straight up, it is stronger than any Facebook ad. Let's look at this together. And I can see we've kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It still looks a little funky, but here's the thing. We focus heavily on capturing leads. And I would say, yeah, I would say that sometimes things don't look super cool, but they work so effective. And that's what this page is all about here. So this home at the top says we've got an open house this weekend. You would imagine that. So this is for door knocking, or it's for mailing, right? So mail it out to the neighborhood. 100, 200 copies is what our clients typically do. I guess we've reformatted it because we've got the QR code in there, because everybody kind of figured out what QR codes are since COVID. But you would think, okay, well, that's how I'm going to get buyers. But every time we put out an e-flyer or a print flyer like this, or even a single property website or a virtual tour, we've got these messages about, hey, that's going to affect your home value. Would you like your home value, right? So people can take this physical piece of paper and take it to their own computer and type in this web address, eastbayfreehomevalue.net, right? Yours is going to be your own link there, right? And you can customize the backend picture, and you definitely should do that. So this is exactly the kind of page that you could run a Facebook ad to, right? And a lot of agents did that for years. They are still doing that. It's not very effective anymore because Facebook has made some significant changes to how they run ads, okay? So you want to make sure that you are, keeping up with the times. Facebook ads for seller lead gen is not the smartest thing to do. It's not the number one thing to do. The number one thing to do is to get this letter in the market, okay? Now I'm going to show you something in the mastermind group, and you guys should all know this. This is that call I was mentioning about FSBOs. Look up the name Kelly Wheeler. You can look up things like listings or conversion or open house, but if you want more listings, I really highly recommend that you look at this guy's post from last summer. This is almost a year ago now. And what's similar to August of this year as August of last year is inventory was super tight, right? And this guy here, Chris, became a client of ours sometime last year. And he came in to say, hey, I'm getting listings in my own neighborhood. Like he's a realtor. He wants to build up his neighborhood, right? So he's running videos like this, popping them out in free groups and running ads, letting everybody know that he's a realtor. But he got 5 listings in 3 months, not necessarily because of the video, although that is a good video. It's because he sends out letters like the one I just showed you every 2 weeks to people who've owned their homes for more than 5 years. Okay. And well, that's a pretty good group. If they've owned their homes for 5 years and you say, hey, I got an open house, and you can go check it out here, and you're mailing it to the same neighborhood where this home is, if there are people who have owned their homes for 5 years, they're going to be interested in finding out their home value, right? And he says once they opt in on the property valuation landing page, meaning once they take my physical piece of paper that I got on their door or in their mailbox, and they type this in and they put their address in and they get their information, I consistently contact them every week with phone calls, bomb, letters via email, and letters left at their doors. Okay. That is it. That is like a awesome model to get listings. There's kind of two, there's that. I just mentioned the call that Kelly's talking about converting FSBOs, but that is how you take the letter and you get it into the market. And that's for an open house. And a lot of agents don't realize, like, God, if I market my listings with listings to leads as just listed, as open house, as under contract, and definitely as sold, I'm going to get more listings. So here it is. Let me just slow down here. I'm going to show you what it looks like when the property is sold. A lot of you have properties that have sold in the past few months and you don't have listings. What can you do, right? Click on market listings, go down to the nearby homeowner letter, and click download. I'm going to download this new fancy version. Hopefully that looks a little bit, I think that might look a little bit better. So I see some questions while that's downloading. So let's see here. My listing ads outperformed PDF significantly. I did 3 ads, 2 listings, $35 each. Oh, 3 ads, 2 of them were listings, 1 was a PDF. I got over 30 leads, one or 2 bad phone numbers. Very happy. Plan to grow this. That's James. Thanks, James. That's really good information. So you spent $35 each. Did you get 30 leads total in those 3 ads, James? Does the QR code? Yes. Okay. Thanks, James. So you got 30 leads. So I want to kind of point out, because he's running ads, I want to point out that on average, and James, do you know what it cost you? Because they cost about $5 a lead from Facebook. 2 form PDF, the balance from listing it. Oh yeah, so you got a better deal. So James is getting good pricing on his listing leads. That's great. That's great. So you got 30 leads on 3 ads for sellers, and that's good. Janice, what letter do you send out once a week? Does the QR code also go to the free home valuation page? Yes, Lori, it does. Yeah. So I don't know if I'd recommend sending something out once a week, but if you want to do something once a week, I would say I'm going to show you a couple of letters right now. One, the one that we've been talking about, which is the nearby homeowner letter. I'm going to open it up. This is a different version. I like it better than the first version. It's just cleaner, right? It's got the QR code. It's, in this case, the QR code is dropping them to the listing. Okay, so this is related to this listing because this is a just sold property. Now, the thing I'll show you, I'm going to click on this for you. This is going to point to a single property website for a property that's sold. Okay, and a major thing of listings to leads is that when a property is sold or when it's under contract or pending, the call to action, as you can see, which just came up, is offering a free home value. We're not looking for buyers on sold properties. This is why you want to share these. This is why you want to get these things out as often as you can. Get the virtual tour out for the sold property. It's got this lead capture just like this, right? Run an ad on a sold property. Everything is then designed and worded to get you more listings. But in this case, we've used a piece of paper. Maybe you door knocked, maybe you mailed it, right? And I'm going to show you here. Give me a second. Back in the mastermind group, I'm going to show you an old client, Dustin Fox. He was an agent. He's an agent from one of our big office clients, and he's been leaning on this letter a long time. But right here, he came in and said, "Hey, the highest ROI in our business has been that neighborhood letter." He says, we mailed it out to 250 homes. We paid first class, which is $625, a lot more expensive than Facebook ads, right? But he did hit 250 homes around a home that he had just sold, right? And that's what the letter was. This letter is like just sold. This is a different version, but it's the same letter that I've been showing you. And he mailed it to 250 homes, first class. He also, he also hand writes the addresses. He pays somebody to handwrite it. You can see here that it's a print label maker. 3 months later, he came in and he said, "Hey, we're paying somebody to handwrite these things in this silver disco Sharpie pen so that it's custom and it's first class. And basically, you're not going to throw it away." And why does he go through all that expense and work? Because he got 10 listings with an average commission of $17,000, right? This guy, when he started, when I rolled out their office 5 or 6 years ago, he had only been a realtor for 2 years, so he did not have like a big book of business and referral stuff. He was doing $5 million in annual production. He ended up, well, the last time, January of last year, he was in 20 million in production. And that took 2.5 years to go from 5 to 20 million. And there's a handful of tools that he uses, and this is the #1 tool. So he came in and said, "Hey, I spent 625, I got 10 listings for 17,000 average commission." That's awesome, right? So let's see here what we've got going here. Yeah, James is getting seller leads for $2. I'm assuming that's coming from the PDF. How do I find information on how long someone is owned? Let me ask that question to the group here. What are your resources to find homeowners that have owned their owned homes for 5 years or more? I know there are a couple of companies. I think Remine is one. Yeah, Remine, Mark and Laura feeding back. I think maybe HomeSnap. You might be able to check, Janice, with your MLS, because sometimes people have that, right? Sometimes that's like, I know there's some MLSs that allow you to do that. Yeah, PDF was only 2 leads, so if I factor that in and my ROI, oh, got it. Okay, Cole Realty. Oh, Cole Realty can do that, and RPR can do that as well. So layering, valuable data instead of just a scattershot approach of these letters. Simply speaking, find people who have equity in their homes, and then get this out. Because what you're saying when you're marketing a home, or if you sold a home, is I'm actually professionally qualified to sell homes. I sold one in your neighborhood, and you can click here to go, find out about it, or you can click here to get your free home value, right? That's really the message that we're giving, and that's a lot different from taking a home valuation page, putting it on Facebook, and saying, "Hey, homes are selling off the charts and all this and that. Would you like to find your free home value?" It's way different when you're saying, "I'm actually selling properties in your neighborhood, and I know because I bought a list that you have equity in it. You might want to look at this." Because it's very easy on Facebook. Let's go over. I'm gonna roll the dice and see what my wacky friends and family have put on there. When you run it out on Facebook, it shows up right here in the middle of the news feed, and a lot of people can see it. Oh, there's my cousin. That's nice, right? It's an ad that looks like this. And it's going to say, hey, get your home value, or I got an open house. It's right here. And that's why it can be so effective. But it's not necessarily like targeted right down to a particular area. And that's where Facebook ads can get a little wobbly. That's why I'm focused and want you to focus on this letter, because we create them automatically. You can have it with borrowed listings. So maybe you're holding an open house for somebody, you pull in the listing, you go to the listings page, and you can grab an active listing because you're holding an open house for somebody else. You're going to get that letter and you door knock it yourself, but you're going to end up getting listing leads, right? You're going to get buyer leads as well, but if you want more listings, that's a super smart way of doing it. You can mail it. You can mail it bulk mail. You can mail it first class. You can hear and see from Dustin and from Chris Winstead, ways of making this a more powerful strategy, right? So let's go over here to landing pages and kind of go a little bit further on the letter. Because what if you have a neighborhood, a farm area that you want business, but you don't actually have any listings there, right? I'm sure some of you are in that position. You could go here and type in property valuation plus and put the name of that city there, right? And then add it. At that point, you're going to have a property valuation plus page like my Pleasant Hill one, right? So let's look here. So this is a home valuation landing page for a small town. It's a kind of adjacent to my town, about 30,000 people there. A lot of homes, great place to build a farm market, right? So I put a picture of the new downtown mall in the background so that people know if they land on this or if they see this, they know that I know their area, right? I'm not pulling any generic suburban background look that doesn't even look like this area. This is the default that we give you. You have to take a couple seconds and click that pencil over there on the right and upload your own photo. Because if you're trying to go out and launch with a coffee cup and a computer, I think you might be, not doing it the right way. I really recommend that you click this upload image button over here on the left and you put in a big picture. Even if you snap that thing with your smartphone, hold it horizontally and then come over here and do it. But all that being said, the reason why I'm bringing you here, I'm going to bring you over here to the other one. I'm on the wrong one here. Let's go back to my Pleasant Hill one. I want to look at the advanced options for this page, right? And I'm hoping that we upgrade this, or frankly, some of the most important things regarding home value pages are buried. Under advanced options is print marketing, and under print marketing is what? A really cool letter that works just like that nearby homeowner letter, but it's for farm markets, and you can use it if you have a listing or if you don't have a listing, right? So you can see here, there's like my photo, and it says, and there's a little bit of language. You should edit this, get some stats, right? It says it's just some boilerplate stuff we put in. But you can say, hey, you know what? 50 homes sold in Pleasant Hill last month, and 400 have sold this year, and the highs around here, and the average, square foot prices around here. Just a few stats, right? Right here. Get rid of this boring stuff and put something with some meat that you found from the local real estate or your MLS, your real estate news or your MLS. And then it says that affected your home value. So get your free home value, right? This is great. And then this link will point to another site that we create for you. It's going to be branded for you. That QR code is going to go to home value because this is all about home value. Please show again, Janice. Do you mean how we get to this letter? This letter is we call it, I think we call it a home sold report, but it's under print marketing. It's under advanced options, and you get to advanced options by clicking the pencil on the far right. It says edit when you hover over it on any of your home valuation landing pages. See, I've got one for Satellite Beach, right? out there in Eastern Florida on the shore. So I got a nice picture of Satellite Beach, and I go over here to print marketing, and I download this here. And however you want to get it in the market, this would be something really smart if you've got a list of homeowners in Satellite Beach that have owned homes for a while. Get this out here, right? Update the little, the stats like I mentioned, and then just boom, you've got a great tool to help you get listing leads, right? So I actually think when you're asking, somebody was asking, what should I mail every week? I would suggest that you operate one of these every other week, and then something about a listing every other week, because what that's telling the market if they're opening your mail, is that you are a professional who can sell homes, and every time you put something in front of them, you're offering them a free home value, right? The nearby, the sold report, it's telling what's going on, right? And so these are great kind of mail print strategies that you can door knock or you can mail. I'll give you one more tip in case you haven't heard this before. I'm going to go to the mastermind group, and I am going to I'm going to search here for the word plus, because Alicia was coming in last year and basically saying, every time I mail this, I get more listings, right? And she was super psyched, right? But what I'm really pointing out is that you see these brightly colored envelopes. She has learned, as well as many of our other clients have learned, that you don't want this to be looked at as junk mail and thrown away, right? That's why handwriting can be really important and really useful. And Alicia here is somebody who said, yeah, it's like every time I get it out there, I get more listings. So if you're interested in that, that's something that you need to think about how to get into your business, okay? So that's enough about that. Let's talk about ads. Because obviously, well, ads are a lot cheaper and they're a lot easier to do, okay? Now, earlier I said, when you market listings, there are tools to help you get more listings. When it comes to Facebook ads, though, that's not exactly true. You definitely want to market something that's sold or under contract. Let me do something here that's under contract, okay? Leave it on lead ad so you get the phone numbers, and I'm going to click create ad, and all you got to do is type in the location, right? So this is in St. Paul, so I'm going to say, if I can spell, boy, you know what? Did I have coffee today? Eek, I didn't. Okay, I should have had a coffee, sorry. So this is, notice it's saying this home sold, it's in contract, that's going to affect your home value. Text here, because I use our text service, or click here and we're going to get you a free home value, right? And when they click, you're going to get their name, phone number, and email. Now, I'm going to mention that we have a budget here of $35, and that's because we have seen that home valuation ads or leads can often cost $5 a lead. But somebody, I think James is on here, and he is saying that, yeah, so he's saying, he is saying that his lead cost is like $328 a lead, right? That's a great price for a seller lead. You definitely want to, have a follow-up campaign built and ready to execute on, because not everybody is going to, get in your office in 48 hours and sign a contract. That does happen every once in a while, but that is not the norm of lead capture or lead conversion, right? So right here, we're doing a property that is in contract. You just click the green button, you type in the city, you click the green button, and the ad is off. I'm going to go back though and show you that you can also create PDF report ads. And James has had some there, and you'll see we got buyer, we got sellers. So on the seller reports, you can download the report here if you want to look at it. You're going to find that your contact information is at the bottom of every one of those pages. But you can also just create an ad, right? Curb Appeal 101. And one of the questions that comes up is, what's the best PDF report ad to use? I honestly don't know. We have just released these this year, and we just don't have any data to know like which is the best one. You know what I would think, just by human nature, is that if I was a seller, like if I was a client, meaning an agent, just like you, I might not even scroll all the way down here, right? I just know this because we've been doing this for 11 years. And I know that, you might just make a quick decision like, oh, you know what? 6 things check, or 25 factors. It's right there. It's right in front of me, center. I'm just going to do that one. And then you say, what gets the most leads? And I'm going to say this one gets the most leads. Why? Because it was at top center when we designed this. That, unfortunately, is not really a great answer for you. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the answer, a year later when we have more and more data on this. I think really the important thing is that you are running ads about properties, even if you're borrowing properties, and you're running ads on PDF reports like this too, right? And this says 25, factors, that impact your home value. You're going to get their contact information. There's nobody that's going to want to get that. If you get somebody's contact information from an ad like this, it's because they gave it to you, right? And you need to work on them. What my message is, you need to have a really good system to follow up and stay in touch with those people. It is not one touch to convert a lead. It is multiple touches. Keep an eye on us, because we're about to launch a follow-up system to help you convert leads. It'll probably be in the next 30 to 60 days. And once you turn it on, it's going to have just some awesome ability to help you convert leads. We know exactly what we're doing about capturing leads, but it's time to really get into the conversion side of things to help our clients out. So again, how do I run this? I type in the name of the town, and you could expand the radius if you want, or just publish, right? And Janice is saying this one didn't do well for me. So 25 factors that impact your home. Maybe 25 is too big, Janice. I mean, I think we live in an ADD world. I mean, I don't think people read. I think they scan things for like 30 seconds. If you tell me I got to read 25 things, I don't have time for 25, right? So one more thing about ads, and this gets into conversion, okay? 12 mistakes is very good, right? The other Janice is saying the 12 mistakes did her really well. 25 might just be such a big number. I mean, I hate to sound silly, but honestly, human nature is like, let's go easy, right? Top three. That's my mantra to Scott and our team. It's like, if an agent lands on a page, I want them to click 3 things and be done, right? Because you don't have time to go through 25 things, right? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so try the 12 one. Try the 12 one and see how that will work. But I want to point out one thing. So as we get into retargeting, this is not about seller lead capture. It's about converting, okay? If you have seen a message about turning on retargeting, accept it and turn on retargeting. That means we're going to create a file in your Facebook ad account of all your leads. If you're a client that's been a client of ours for years and you've got 1,000 leads sitting in your system, all those leads are going to be dropped into that file on Facebook. And we'll give you the name, and you'll just be able to type in the name of it right in this box. That way your ad will go out, in this case, to everybody that lives within 30 miles of Lafayette, but also everybody else that's in your custom audience. This is going to help you convert those leads that you're capturing, okay? So definitely start using that. If you get questions about that, hit our support team up, because like I said, we want to make sure you convert leads, okay? So yeah, Janice has a question on budget versus lifetime, right here. So let's say, let me make it easy. You see, it's like $50 is my budget. We default to 7 days on an ad. I'm going to change it to 5. Okay, just so we can understand. So what that means is that every day, if I leave it on daily budget, this tells Facebook, take $10 a day and put it on every one of those 5 days. Okay, that's what it's telling Facebook to do. Okay, and what lifetime budget does is it says, hey, take the $50 and put it in on Facebook at the most opportune time for me, right? Because one of the old questions that I don't hear anymore is, when is the best time to run an ad? What's the best day of the week to run an ad, right? And honestly, I don't exactly know. I kind of know, but I don't exactly know. But let's just make a what if, let's make a hypothetical. That Monday is a bad day and Tuesday is a bad day because we're all so busy working, nobody is responding to Facebook ads. And Wednesday is sort of an okay day, but Friday, like everybody is hitting ads because they're working half day and they're not paying attention to work and they're thinking of the weekend, they're in Facebook, and your money would go a lot further if you have $50 on Friday as opposed to $10 a day throughout the week. Okay, that is what is, so lifetime budget is better for you because it's telling Facebook, drop the money when everybody is there so I can get the back, you know, the better bang for my buck. Does that answer your question there, Janice? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so you were saying a Thursday start was magic for me. Let me just say, when it comes to Facebook ads, weekends, meaning even Thursday is almost a weekend for some of us, you know. So weekends have a better placement because we're working during the week, right? We're not so distracted on the weekends. When it gets Thursday and Friday, we're easily distracted. So let's see here. All the contact info has been solid. Only 2 bad numbers, James is telling us, from 32 leads. Yeah, and you want to build a database? Yeah, several thousand to build our, so it would be, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so James is saying he's understanding that he's gonna get leads here. He's gonna build a follow-up system. There are a lot of great CRMs out there, guys. We're building our own here inside that'll help you convert. James using Follow Up Boss, and we hear great things. Our clients who use Follow Up Boss love the interaction between the two systems. Yeah, and so James is mentioning, yeah, Janice has KV Core. KV Core is awesome too. More expensive, but it does kind of more beyond the CRM. But we'll definitely have, I don't know, thousands of clients using KV Core too. So he's mentioning that he's going to do his first email blast, right? So I want to kind of remind you, we were talking about retargeting here. Retargeting is a way to run ads in front of those old leads, right? But you can download your leads and you could put them inside your CRM, right? And now back on the listings page, let's go to our sold property again. There's also a tool here that is the listing, the e-flyer for your database right here. James mentions he's working on his database. What is this going to look like, right? It says, well, we sold a home. If I go to that web address, if I click on this blue bar or this picture, it's going to take me to the sold home single property website. And since it's sold, it's going to be looking for home values. It's also going to say that affected your home value. So you can click here or here and land on my page and become a listing lead there too. So James, if you're figuring out what to send, look at our flyers that are always in the marketing system. We've got clients who have had CRMs, for years. They've had 3,000 leads in there. They're just dripping on them. Nothing is going on. And then they take this and they copy the code here and they go into their CRM and they paste it in all weird looking like that. And they click a button and then they blast it off. And they take 3,000 leads and have to start having like 12, 15 conversations. You should all be blasting our letters out like this at least once a week, right? Or every couple of weeks. Because the difference of what we do and what a lot of companies, copy the code and paste the code in the email. That's what you do. The code's at the top. But the difference of listings to leads is there are call to actions all over the place, right? We are trying to get leads. So how do you do that? You create, simple clickable links. There are 4 that we just looked at, all these graphics right here. I've also got my signature bar down here. What is your home worth? Palo Alto Homes, Orinda, Lafayette Homes. These are all clickable links inside your flyer that could be pointing to your website or our landing pages. So you want to take advantage of those, right? Do you copy and paste the e-flyer? Yes. You click copy code up here, you go to your CRM, and you knock it out. There are a lot of companies out there that kind of are on both sides of the fence, right? KV Core is one, Chime, Ylopo, and they're all pricey, right? Because they're doing a lot, right? They're giving you a CRM and they're giving you some front-end consumer reaching stuff. Ours is way less expensive, and frankly, we're way more nimble when it comes to lead capture. And so that's why, we're a lead source for all those companies, right? Chime included, right? It's like we're a lead source because we have multiple funnels, right? These are all different ways of capturing leads. I'm telling you the most effective ones, right? Facebook ads, the nearby homeowner letter, the e-flyer for your database. But let's also talk about seller social media, because this is something that most of you guys don't understand. We're actually about to start working on this. The reason you don't understand it is because it's ridiculous what we're sending you and asking you to do. Let's see if I can send this. Let's see if it shows. I actually got my email blocked. So you get this automatically. And there's all these weird instructions about Sally Seller or whatever. And you don't even know what we're talking about, right? And I understand that. Let me show you what we're talking about, all right? That is for your seller, and we're going to make the instructions crystal clear, okay? They're just too janky and muddled up, and we need to fix that. So my name is Vincent Meza, and you can see that this post is talking about me, Vincent Meza. It's not going to be like that, right? It's not meant to be like that. We send this tool to you. We can also send it to the homeowner automatically, but it's meant for your client to put on their wall. In this case, the home is sold, right? And why would they do that? Well, you've sold their home. They're probably pretty happy. So if you ask them to share this, they probably will. And it's going to say your name at your office. They want to recommend you for doing an excellent job. And they're going to put your phone number and email automatically in here so that all their friends and family and colleagues can see this, right? It's a pre-written testimonial, right? We have this for every status just listed. Our home is just listed with Janice, right? Our home is under contract with James, and he's still doing marketing until the property closes, right? We're talking you up every time, but we're giving it to you to give to your client so that they put it on their wall. You should get this into your listing presentation, that you are fully knowledgeable about social media, and that you advertise and you put things on social media, and their home's going to be on social media. You may not know this, but we have social media auto posting where we post a virtual tour for your properties to YouTube. We post your listings to LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and they can get to Instagram too. These are 5 of the best, most well-known social media programs in the world, right? And you're able to tell people, I put your home on these 2, right? Not just the MLS and sit back at my desk. I am actually internet marketing, social media marketing for you to get you more buyers at the highest price. So they're gonna, and say, and I'm even gonna give you some tools to put on yours so we can get more buyers, right? Or more, and that's it, right? And so this question is coming up twice about this, about you're not the listing agent, right? You totally can do that, right? So if I go here, if you're the buyer's agent, right, you help somebody buy a home, well, then you know it's sold, right? And I can change this to just sold listing agent, just sold selling agent. I don't know. It should say buyers, and I don't get it. But anyway, that's going to make, you can basically put this in, even if you didn't list the property, and then you can run ads on it, and you can also use it in the flyer, and you can also use the nearby homeowner letter. That would be the #1 thing I would definitely be doing. If you help somebody buy a home in a neighborhood and you want more listings in that neighborhood, get that listing in your system and get this letter out. That's how you're going to get listings in that area. So those are sorts of the kinds of things that you can be doing. Definitely the seller social media is one that most people neglect, and people, you know, will come in the mastermind group and just be sort of flipped out because they're getting listing leads. They're not doing mailings. They're not doing ads. They don't know how they can still be getting listing leads. It's because, let me tell you something. When you run an ad on Facebook, it can last no more than 30 days, okay? I don't recommend running an ad for 30 days. I don't recommend running an ad for more than 4 days. We default to 7. And sometimes that works, but sometimes a lot of people realize, like, God, after 3 or 4 days, they just stop producing, right? I don't know why. Maybe because you got a lot of competition and you got a lot of ads coming in and yours just stop showing up. Maybe people are glazed over because they've seen them for 4 days. I have no idea. But what I'm showing you right here on Facebook is not a paid ad. It's just a post put on the wall by your client. And the cool thing about it is that, you know, those people that you want referrals from, all those people are under their friends tab. These are their friends, their families, their colleagues, their relatives, right? These are the people where you want referrals from. So you can either leave a stack of business cards or some fancy cutlery, or you can use our tools and get your name in front of those same people multiple times, and it never disappears. And why I say that is I've had clients who said, God, you know, we used this 3 months ago. 3 months later, one of my clients' relatives logged into Facebook, saw that they sold their home, and they clicked on it. Now, how the heck did they click on it? They clicked on it because they just saw it there because it sits there for forever. And it's saying this property is sold. And I'm your agent. I was their agent right there, right? And then boom, what's in their face? Get your free home value. These are high quality leads. Janice, you can send it via Messenger, or you can send it via email. I think it's smart to do via email because it's much easier. The email looks like this. Clear it out and just leave what they need. They need that hyperlink and where it starts. We just bought our new home, or we just sold our home, right? We send you this email. Click forward on the email and wipe out all the nonsense that the homeowner doesn't need to see. Send it to them and call them for 5 seconds and say, I just sent you an email. I know you get 100 every day, but would you copy what I just sent you and put it on Facebook? That's it. Copy from your email and paste it on your Facebook wall. I'd appreciate it. We just listed your home. It's in the MLS, but the more people that see it, the better off it's going to be for getting you more offers. Same is true, it's now open house. We want to make sure many people see it. But the point is, yeah, many people are going to see it, and yeah, people are going to click on it. But these leads are not random internet leads. These are leads coming from your client's sphere of influence. And that's what makes it a much higher quality lead. Okay. Guys, that's kind of my story for today. Any other questions about all of what we've gone over, or is there a section that I didn't mention that you'd like an answer to? There are things for blogs. If you're a blogger, you can do that. Yeah, James. Okay, James, email me at vince@listingstoleads.com and then and just send me that, because this is gonna go away and I won't be able to get you there. Vince@listingstoleads.com. How can I learn more about custom audiences retargeting? That's a good question. Go to the support page, Lori, and ask them for the information on custom audiences and retargeting. I'll tell you one thing, Lori, it's super easy inside of our system. It's actually pretty complicated in Facebook, but we have made it like you just turn it on and then you can use them. So there will be some support pages, Lori, to help you with that. Can you send info on a blog post? Yes, Janice, if you go here, like let's go to my listings, and let's go to my sold listing here, go to market listings and go to blog posts. So well, we don't need open houses, but there's single property websites, different versions, right? Copy the HTML, go to your blog post and paste it in. And it's going to say this home is sold, right? I don't have a way to look at this, but that's what it would be. And so if you're using WordPress or any other blog, you'll be able to paste that in. It'll be the HTML code, and then you click it, make it the graphic look again, and then there you go. Yeah, so yeah, Janice, I mean, the thing about, and I'm sure you know this, but the thing about these pages, these blog posts, is they create a new web page for you every time you use one. And when it comes to SEO, the more pages you have on your website, the stronger SEO you're going to have. So if you got any change in your properties, this is just listed, this is now open house, I would definitely be copying and adding those things there. You can also, if we go over to landing pages again, you can say, hey, you know what? I want to click on advanced options because I want to have I want to embed my home valuation landing page on my WordPress site. I want one for every town where I work, where I build my business. I would definitely be thinking of that, Janice, if you're working with WordPress. Again, if it gets difficult, you can ping our support team. They'll have some support stuff to help you. Well, everybody, I appreciate you hanging out, and I appreciate all the questions. It always makes it, I think, easier to learn when you're understanding what's going on. Thank you, Janice, and thanks everybody for joining me today. Keep safe out there. Keep an eye on what we're doing. The follow-up stuff. Well, first of all, our ad generator is ridiculous. If you're not creating ads consistently, you need to be creating ads at least 2 a week. At least one on a property, one on a PDF report. That's just like bottom line. Get those letters out that I mentioned at the beginning of the call. Use the tools I'm talking about if you want more listings, because they all work. Stay on top of us for the follow-ups. You can actually, follow-ups is here, and you can sign up for the beta. I think I would highly recommend that. I would highly recommend that, because this is going to help you convert leads. As you can hear, as I've mentioned, I've talked to you about people who are capturing leads. People on the call right here are capturing leads. But really, nobody gets paid until you convert those leads. And that's why using our follow-up system is going to be really awesome. So we definitely would appreciate if you join our beta group and get involved. Thanks, everybody. Take it easy. Thank you, Mark and Laura. And get in the mastermind group. It's 4 pages, bottom left. This call will be in the mastermind group later on today. So take it easy. All right. Bye-bye.